2099, humans have been traveling in space for 150 years. Every part of our solar system has been explored. Missions to the nearest stars are on their way. But space travel has proved hazardous for human beings. And death lurks in the hostile environments of the planets and their moons. And so, through human ingenuity, a new breed of space explorer has been perfected. These are the SIMs, 5 super intelligent machines capable of operating in the most extreme and threatening conditions. Earthlink, the mighty spaceship which carries them across the void. On board is Lander, the transfer vehicle and sanctuary while on a mission. Inside are Legs, who tackles the most dangerous terrain. Wheels, the roving scientific detective. And Hover, the rescuer and scout. This team of trailblazers acts as agents for the human race, adventuring far into the solar system and beyond. Their destination, space. It is the year 2099, the eve of the 22nd century, and the frontiers of space exploration are extending far beyond our solar system. With advanced rocket technology and a new breed of super intelligent robots, the first journeys to the stars can commence. On this mission, the SIMs will assemble a giant starship capable of traveling across light years of space. This leap to the stars will be an important milestone in the quest to explore the whole universe, even as far as the remote galaxies.
This is a new kind of mission for us, building a colossal starship.
The design uses antimatter to power the ship's engines. It's the only way to achieve starflight velocities.
And even then it will take centuries to reach the nearest stars.
So it will need a very special kind of crew.
Mission to remote galaxies. Final countdown for Phase 1 of mission.
Phase 1 takes us 60 million miles straight to Mars. Lined up and powering up. Brakes off and rolling. V1, V2, rotate.
We'll be taking up the Phase 1 orbit for Mars right away. No stopover at the space station this trip. It's being dismantled.
Is that all that's left?
Yes, Wheels. Parts from it are being recycled in new stations. Mars is now the starting point for missions to the stars and galaxies.
So that really is our last goodbye.
Earthlink, what's the agenda when we reach Mars?
We'll be taking up position close to its moonlet, Phobos. Then Lander and Wheels will go down to collect the fuel for the antimatter drive.
That antimatter factory is a dangerous place.
You're right, Wheels. You and Lander will need to take extreme precautions.
What do Legs and I do?
Most of the starship's component sections are already positioned in space above Phobos. You and Legs will be assembling them into the basic framework.
And what's the ship's mission target?
The Earth-like planet we discovered in Sagittarius.
Is it really just like Earth?
Same temperature range, an atmosphere, and liquid water. It's promising. It even has a name now. The humans have called it Myron.
Even with its antimatter engine producing extraordinary speeds, the starship will take 5 centuries to bridge the 50 light-year gulf to its target.
The universe is just so enormous.
and full of galaxies. But it hasn't always been like that. The universe started with a big bang about 15 billion years ago.
How our universe exploded out of nothing remains one of the most difficult concepts the human mind can contemplate. In a flash, it went from being smaller than an atom to bigger than the Earth, and has kept on expanding ever since.
In those first unimaginably violent moments after the Big Bang, not only the building blocks of stars and galaxies were made, but space and time themselves were created.
How did all those tiny protons, neutrons, and electrons become stars and galaxies?
Gravity began to concentrate the matter. Big clumps gradually built up. Over time, gravity pulled the universe into shape. Galaxies lie concentrated into shells and strings, with huge voids of empty space in between. Great collections of stars formed in huge balls of gas, then merged to form large galaxies like our own Milky Way.
The light from the farthest galaxies visible through telescopes has taken so long to reach us, we see them as they were, soon after they formed about 12 billion years ago. They were smaller and closer together back then. They grew by consuming each other.
That's cannibalism. It sounds horrible.
Gravitational forces pull the stars and gas of the galaxies together. Large galaxies grow by catching dozens of dwarf galaxies. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, may even merge with the huge Andromeda galaxy far into the future.
What if we could reach those remote merging galaxies?
We can do it in virtual reality, Hover. We have the VRS computer. Let's go. We can soon be out of the Milky Way. I'm feeding in the data and powering up now.
Earthlink, this is fabulous! Can we go by a giant spiral?
Certainly. We'll divert and fly through this one. Look at those dusty spiral arms and the bright gas clouds. We are seeing billions of stars. Legs, you'll need 20/20 concentration to get us safely through this.
Star Factory coming up. I'll fly us straight through it.
Put the star avoidance field on. Field to maximum. Integrative repulsion engaged.
What's going on out there?
Interstellar dust streaming by. Giant star cluster dead ahead. We'll plunge through it.
We've left the local group of galaxies far behind. 300 million light years from the Milky Way.
There are some very strange galaxies ahead. Curved galaxies in a ring around the edge of a cluster.
That's caused by the cluster's fantastically strong gravity, bending the light from more distant galaxies. We've now logged 12,000 million light years. That's it. We're going no further. Get out and take a look.
As far as I can make out, we are in a dwarf galaxy of some kind, and there are other galaxies very close to us.
Hey, have you noticed the temperature? I'm reading 100 degrees, far hotter than back at the Milky Way.
That's because we have caught up with the heat of the expanding universe. It's only 3 billion years old out here, and still cooling down.
Any planets nearby that we can land on?
It's so soon after the Big Bang out here that the stars are relatively young, and no planets have yet formed.
All those stars in the galaxy are busy converting hydrogen to helium very fast.
Some of them will eventually explode. Only then can planets condense out of the material left behind.
Exploding stars? That was one! A massive supernova!
The radiation level is soaring. The neutrino flux is enormous.
I'm getting circuit breakdown. It's the gamma rays.
Radiation is causing catastrophic failure of all systems. I'm out of action.
I've absorbed so much energy, I'm into meltdown.
Flight systems disabled!
We're all melting away.
The remote Galaxies simulation had shown that the SIMs could not survive for long in the harsh conditions of the very early universe. But it was only a simulation. In reality, the SIMs were closing in on Mars.
Mars at 100,000 miles. Time to prepare for the construction part of our mission.
Phew. After that simulation, I'll be glad to get out, even on Phobos.
Not long now. Phobos orbit trajectory engaged.
The factories out here have been hard at work. Just look at all the sections we've got to assemble.
My manifest shows more than 50 large sections of the starship are in this vicinity. Hover, stand by for EVA.
I copy you. Launching now.
Your first task is to check the inventory.
I hardly know where to begin. Here's an enormous pod for carrying equipment and materials. It's got its own propulsion system.
The starship carries 24 of those. Find the magnetic field gravitation module. It's all that stands between us and instant annihilation.
This is it. And one section of the communication module is over there.
That's the antimatter drive you're looking at now. Magnificent.
It's hundreds of feet long.
I'm commencing the descent to Phobos.
For the antimatter fuel.
And I'm off to join Hover on the construction work.
I'm jettisoning the front and rear doors to make room for the antimatter cradle, which Wheels will install. We shan't be working in an atmosphere again.
This is a huge section. I must move it very slowly. Get ready, Lakes. I'm bringing it up. Easy does it.
The angle looks good, Hover. Keep it coming. That's great, Hover. Just right. It's fitted in place perfectly.
We're almost done. Now to attach the last doors to these compartments.
You need to find section 23 upper door.
We copy you.
Don't rush. We don't want to damage anything.
Earthlink, we have a problem. It doesn't fit.
Hover, confirm section number.
Oops. I read 24 lower.
An easy mistake, since space doesn't have any up or down.
We're bringing up the correct door now.
Just look how large these compartments are. Far bigger than the inside of Earthlink.
They must be taking a huge quantity of equipment.
While Hover and Legs were assembling the starship, Lander and Wheels arrived at the Phobos base.
There's a new silver object at the northeast corner.
A secret project, I bet. I'll land close to it. Wheels, you go and take a look.
No hint from the outside what it's for. It looks like a shuttle pod to go onto the starship. There's a propulsion system.
You're in luck, Wheels. The door's opening.
Wow! I've never come across anything like this. It must be a complete system for exploring alien planets.
Don't be too long. If we don't get on with collecting the antimatter for the starship, it will never get there.
You're right. I'll bring over the carrying cradle first. This is it, with a special container for the antimatter flask.
That seemed to fit without any problems. An immensely powerful magnetic field will keep the antimatter secure.
I'll get the antimatter flask. We've never practiced this. One false move and the explosion will vaporize the whole of Phobos.
And threaten Mars.
There it is. Now I must concentrate. Done it. Now to get it to the starship quickly and safely.
As we go, Wheels, you need to monitor the magnetic field containing the antimatter.
I copy you. If that drops, there isn't going to be an expedition to any remote galaxy.
So Lander and Wheels prepared to take off, aware that a single error could spell disaster. And as they passed smoothly overhead, the giant silver pod was activated. Soon, it too was leaving Phobos and heading towards the starship.
Lander, I have you vector locked to join the antimatter engine in 2 minutes. Starting countdown now.
Something's going badly wrong. The magnetic field is falling. If it drops too far, the antimatter will leak out.
And when it comes into contact with ordinary matter, the explosion will blast us all to bits.
I read you have 1 minute and 30 seconds, and counting.
The field is still plunging.
I'll position as close as possible to the fuel bay. Come in, Hover. Approaching from port 37 degrees. Grab fully deployed. Extending cradle now and opening container. Standing by to lock on. Lid jettisoned. It's all clear now. Over to you, Hover. This had better work first time, or we're all done for. Here goes.
There's no time for a second shot. The magnetic field is falling too fast. You have 25 seconds. 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
I'm lowering it to the fuel bay now. How about that? Right first time.
10 seconds to power up. Emergency over. The onboard power is re-energizing the magnetic field. The whole starship is powering up, ready for interstellar flight. Now you have the final assembly work to complete.
This main control module needs shifting next. There's enormous inertia to overcome.
But it will be possible if we lock on together at this point.
And I'll position so that Wheels can give a shove on the other side.
I'm locked on now. Full power, everyone. Alignment looks good.
We've done it!
What a huge communications antenna.
That's because it's going deep into space, far beyond the solar system.
Our final task is to make sure the 24 fully loaded equipment pods are correctly installed.
They glide into place easily enough.
What's inside?
Equipment we would recognize, only better. Human brain computers, material composition analyzers, that sort of thing.
That one's locked in.
Over here are the even more advanced pods. They've flown under robotic control from Mars and Phobos, and the docking is automatic.
Here's the pod from Phobos, the one I was able to look into.
Acquisition confirmed. Mission Control has instructed us to monitor this one particularly carefully as it docks.
That went well, but I'm picking up a strange noise from inside. It may be a malfunction in the equipment. I'll do a quick check on the other pods.
I'm advising Mission Control of the problem. Wheels, stand by to download instructions for opening the pod if necessary.
It's only this one that has a problem.
Mission Control advised that you should move the pod out again.
We copy you.
Now we'll all get a chance to look inside.
Mission Control has sent a software fix which should correct the fault, but let's open it up to check. Oh. This is what I saw on Phobos.
Oh, it's
What is it, Hover?
It's crammed with robots.
They're androids. Robots with human features and brain computers.
So that's how they're going to tackle the 500-year journey to the Earth-like planet.
Our original design is over 60 years old. We can't compete with androids.
You mean we're out of a job?
Yes, Wheels. These are the interstellar explorers for missions to stars and remote galaxies.
It's true. Our job is done. But we will be staying together. So all aboard for our very last journey. We're going to be the main display at a new museum. The Museum of 21st Century Space Exploration.
Fame at last. Time to put my feet up.
And I won't have to carry you around anymore.
Will they sell videos of all our missions?
And plastic models of me?
Dwarfed by the great interstellar ship as it moves away on its momentous journey, Earthling prepares to return home for the last time. But in the years that follow, she and the SIMs will be remembered as the trailblazers in humankind's exploration of space, an ongoing exploration of the infinite, as the giant starship slips her moorings and moves out across the light years to begin a new era of adventures in the remote galaxies.